Let's say that you want your dialogue to play only once. Changing the input option won't help because setting it to one shot will just make it so the triangle prompt will come back. As you can see, the dialogue still plays multiple times. We're going to fix this by using a one-shot switch, which is a counter set to 1. I move the right stick on my controller down to change the gadget length. Connect the player sensor to the counter's increment input and plug the output into the magic mouth. Don't plug anything into the reset input. Now, when we get near the character, the dialogue plays only once. No matter how many times I activate the player sensor, it only plays once. That's because the counter only activates once, because it's set to 1. The same logic can be applied to other things, like doors that only open once. No matter how many times I pull the lever, the door only opens once. This is definitely something you want to save to your pocket, so put it in a microchip and capture it. That way, you can use it whenever you need it. Something else that you might want to do is have multiple dialogue play in order, so something like this. But the problem with this is that the speed that you set might be too fast or slow. Some players are slow readers, or they like to enjoy the story, while others want to read fast and get to the gameplay. There's no perfect speed for everyone. You can let the player read at their own pace by wiring magic mouse to each other instead of using a sequencer. Make sure both of these are set to one shot, so hold R2 and press X to multi-select and set it to one shot. Now we can close each speech bubble whenever we want, and the next dialogue line will automatically play. If I just wanted to skip it and get to the gameplay, I could. Obviously, you would want to use the one-shot switch here, so it only plays once. You can also wire a magic mouse to multiple characters. And you can wire a magic mouse to other things like timers and sounds. I used a timer here to give the sound time to play, so the Sackboy doesn't respawn while the sound is still playing. I have it set to count up, so it continues to run even when the magic mouth is no longer active, since it only activates for a split second. You can also make it so different dialogue plays each time you walk by. You can do this by using a selector. I'm using 3 ports since I have 3 magic mouse, so then you would just wire it in the order that you want them to play. By default, it should be on the 3rd port, so it starts at the first one when the player cycles it. So you see right now, when you get near him, he says let's save the world. Then we get near him again and he says I'll meet you there, go on ahead. And then he says why are you still talking to me? Then from there it just loops. If you don't want these lines to keep repeating, you gotta wire it slightly differently. So you would add 3 extra ports to this selector, connect the second output to the first magic mouth, and then from there, you would just wire it in order. Connect the last output to the second to last input. So I'll show you what happens, and at default, it should be at 1. If I go in and out of range, so the dialogue cycles, you'll see what happens when it gets to the last line. The character will stop talking once they get through their last line of dialogue. A one-shot switch isn't needed here since you're just cycling through the dialogue. You can also string dialogues together like I showed you before. I have a video on invisible control naders if you want more quick tips.